What's going on, man? Y'all drink it up, baby? Yeah, man, it's an event. Y'all been drinking for the last hour. You know, and hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is a Scatta Entertainment production, man. This is the Cypher with KJ and Mal. Yup. This is sponsored by Upper Echelon Management, Forward Entertainment, Yancy Milan Home. We burning. I'm lit today. You know what I'm saying? She got the best candles in the world. We was down in Atlanta. Remember that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Y'all holler at yancymilan.com if you're in Atlanta. It's 1750 Lee Road, Lithia Springs, Georgia. Man, y'all go holler at her, man.
She dope, man.
So some
sage sticks, man.
Clear all those spirits out.
You know what I mean?
Man, look,
all that negative energy.
Man, it's heavy, man. On today's show, man, we got some dope guests. You know what I'm saying? They're a part of our family. You know. And I met today, I want to say about 2 shows ago. Episode 4. It was something like 3 or 4 or something, man. That's a blessing we saying 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and she was so dope, man. We connected and got together, man, and vibe real well, man. I like a spirit, man. She told me about a partner and a host, and it was like, hey, let's get it. Let's get it cracking and shaking, man. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Because last night, if you forgot, Unpacked Bass, got to give her a shout out. Yeah. You know, she did her thing. Yeah. Man, it was real stellar, man. It was beautiful, man. Yeah. Black people coming together, networking.
I heard they had some real grown conversations.
Oh, yes, they did. They had some real conversations. You know what I'm saying?
I tried to tap in live, but my phone is saved.
No,
it just kept buffering.
Oh, man. Yeah, because they're praying some bad stuff.
You know, Bedside Baptist, we don't do all that.
Man, I'm telling you, man.
She said her phone was saved.
Saved, yeah. It was some heavy topics, man. Yeah. It really was, man. Yes, we're about to get it cranked up, man. Today, it's about to get heavy. So you got any questions for the panel, man?
We got Blitz.
We got Blitz. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Blitz, where you at, brother?
He's the birthday guy. Oh. Everybody, he went
outside. Yeah, outside, but you know what I'm saying? But
he's high profile. He's on the phone.
Oh, it's all good. It's all
business.
We just let them know, like, hey,
celebrate his
time.
Birthday.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, right now, man, on this panel, man, I met this lady, man. You know, she's the executive committee woman of District 14. Yep. One of the founders of Rutherford County Democratic Caucus, author.
Black Caucus.
I'm sorry.
Any caucus. It's for the black
for the people. You see the fro. I know it's for the people we came in. I know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Author, small business owner, mother, and a cold-ass Aquarius. Y'all get up for Tanea.
You know.
What's up, T?
What's up? Mal know what it is. Yeah, you know, me and Mal know each other from Foot Locker.
Man, way back.
First he was at Hibbett's.
Yeah, I was. No, it was actually just for feet. That's where I was at.
No, when you was next door to me at the mall, it was Hibbett's.
It was?
Yep. Next to I was piercing ears and he was slinging shoes.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, yeah, man. I was 17.
It's been a long time.
It's been some years.
A year. Go way back, though. You know, you next door hometown.
That's right. You know Lewisburg. That's where my people from. And then we got Shelbyville in the building. All right. I'm sorry. I'm about to bust out of my shell. What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
In the building.
Everybody, man.
It's too calm for me. The DJ had me hyped. Played all the West Coast jams. I'm straight from the east side of Tacoma, Washington.
Right.
Lived out east in Memphis, Tennessee. And now I'm holding it down in the country in Bedford County, Tennessee.
Bedford County?
Bedford County.
That's right. Let's go to the bird.
You must got to work or something, man.
You know. Hey.
Yeah.
So that's who I am. And when my title, Executive Committee Woman for District 14. Okay. That's with the Democratic Party, the state party, you know. Okay. So I do hold an elected position. Now, we might be at the bottom of the totem pole, but guess what? We on that beach. So I'm in there.
Right.
And I'm in there for y'all, but we'll talk about that later.
For sure. I was definitely going to get into that.
Yeah, man. When you start, you know, saying, I'm going to write a book, because I see the book I Am You. Yeah. Where'd that come from? You know, inspired you to write a book?
Well, I grew up on the West Coast, in our academic setting in elementary school, they encouraged creative writing. So I've always been writing for years and years and years, won awards. And in 2009, the best thing that could have happened to me, corporate America laid me off. And I went out that thing like a G2. I was ready. People was in there crying. I was waiting like, man, they better tap my shoulder like I had saved my money. Like I had already had a plan. I was like, I got too much money in the bank for them to tell me I still got to work here. Exactly. We was going to have problems. So I got that tap on the shoulder. And I was like, I can't go back.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to write a book. That's something I always wanted to do, a novel. And fortunately, at the time, Create Space came out with Amazon, so you could self-publish.
Right.
And that just changed the whole game. So if you're one of those people that's on social media like all the time, man, copy and paste all that and put you a book out there.
Yeah.
Put it on sale for $2.99 or something, get you a little money. I mean, you putting free content out there anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, man, you know, the internet, man, anybody can do pretty much anything. You can do it yourself.
Yeah.
It ain't like they can't, you know, it ain't no more excuses no more. You know, they got this platform for you to use it. You know what I'm saying? So that's big, man.
So the book is I Am You
All
on
right.
Facebook Live. Y'all see what's up. By Tortoise Wind. It's on Amazon.com. It's been on there for a couple years. But yeah, I got inspired to write because I got laid off and it was something I wanted to do. But this book actually came, I was going through some mental, emotional turmoil. You know, Memphis, Tennessee will do that to you. The black man will do that to you. You know, the world will do it to you. You know, my sisters know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I love my brothers, but damn. Woo, wrote a whole book about it. No, but, you know, so I had to get back.
Some work.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say all of us. Some of us need some work.
I'm gonna say all of us.
Everybody can, you can sprinkle a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
But it was a growing process. But really, at the end of the day, I thought it was all those external things, but it was just I was out of tune with myself.
Okay.
So this was like the bring back. Like I was internalizing everything. I was portraying a strong black woman. You know, I had my degree, I had my corporate job, I had bought my house, had my kids. Don't need no help from no nigga. You know what I mean? I was out there. You know, I still like the brothers though, but you know, I was like, you know, I was housing a couple of them. You know, we just gonna keep it real.
They got you run a convalescent home.
You know, they didn't have their stuff together, and I'm one of them dream checks. Like, baby, I got you. You know, don't do it, ladies. Let him have his own shit. You won't have to write a book. But
hey, clap it up for that. But let's get your shit together. We hiring. Hey, man.
That was the energy that made you drive to push that.
Yeah, but really, this is like 30 little short stories of me just kind of going through it and just writing my way out of some stuff. So it starts off kind of dark, but it ends up on the bright side, you know. But it's not for everybody, but everybody should still buy it.
But I tell you what, hey, the question I wanted to ask, you know, you say it went dark and went light. You know, you do the self-defense. What's up about that?
Right. You know, that's another, you got to find ways to release anger. Like, anger was my thing, but I got this real good friend, he's a Haitian, and he was like, I love your anger. You just got to know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Right. And here I am in politics. So that's a good place for an angry black woman to be.
That's a
good place for an angry black woman.
Right.
Angry all day.
You know, because there's plenty of white male supremacists in politics, and you know, I'm here. I'm like the superhero. Like I walk in the room, like, "What's up?"
Yeah, man, you got a fence on?
Yeah, but the self-defense, I guess he did ask. Yeah, you know, I just added kung fu to it just to release.
Right. You do kung fu?
Well, I mean, martial arts, kung fu.
You know, you just don't do this and that. You know what I'm saying? Do the whole roundhouse?
I still do this. If all else fail, go back to what you know.
Right. This shit ain't working for me.
You know, because with technique comes discipline, and I'm still working on the discipline part. So, you know, it might start off with a jab and a cross, but if she grabbed my hair,
oh man, it's over.
It's going on.
Here come the windmill.
Here come the windmill. But we got moves for the windmill. So, you know, on a serious note, your daughters, especially young girls, because that's how they fight.
Exactly.
And, you know, they want to grab your hair. We got moves for that.
Oh,
we got moves for that.
To all the young ladies out there in North Nashville right now, nigga, get all the tips.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It's going down.
But it's surreal self-defense. So, you know, we started a business doing self-defense and met some cool people doing it.
That's dope. We had spoke once a particular time about that, about you wanting to get that whole little self-defense thing going for the ladies. Because you said you was finna do a, for the handgun permit too, right?
You know it. We
you
got
know
the right.
Oh, yeah. Now, I mean, I think all women should be strapped.
I believe.
That's just, you know what I'm saying?
Clap it up
legally,
for all women should be strapped.
Legally, though. Don't.
Box cutter.
Yeah, let it be legal. You know what I'm saying?
Box cutter.
Know your laws, and we're going to talk about that later, but you want to know your laws. But, yeah, I encourage, we definitely are pro Second Amendment around this thing. get your papers and find you somebody that you could train with. But I'm working on it. I am a range safety officer. I do have my papers so I can teach gun safety.
That's
Okay.
And we need to start with our kids.
Yeah.
For
We
sure.
need to stop being scary about that and
Yeah.
acting like. And then we're in Tennessee. Like, I'm sorry,
Right.
if you
Yeah.
black and you don't own a gun and it's not because of legal reasons,
Yeah.
then you need to get your shit together.
Get it together.
Man,
I agree, man. Give it up for that, man.
Yeah, all right.
Yes, sir.
Y'all give it up for Tanea
Yes, sir.
Chantrell, y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
That's my Facebook name. I prefer Tortoise Wind. but
Tortoise
okay.
Wind.
Tanea Chantrell.
Tortoise
Yeah,
Wind.
Tortoise Wind. Because that's what's on the book, so
Right.
that's where the money comes. So
Oh, okay. We'll get
wanna
all that at the
talk money.
end. You know, we'll get you all your
We wanna
tags.
talk
When
money.
Yeah,
you selling plates, when to go get them and all that. We'll do all that at the end.
For sure.
I love you. Man, the next guest I got on the show, man, for the Broken Systems, man. I just met the guy today, but Tortoise Wind told me he was very dope. So I checked him out. And dope, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really dope, on his music and everything. You know what I'm saying? Born in Chicago, Illinois, raised in Nashville, Tennessee.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Throughout his career, you know what I'm saying? He was stamped with by DJ Drama, you know what I'm saying? Twister, Busta Rhymes, you know what I'm saying? Big names, you know what I'm talking about. So, man, y'all get up for this
Heavy
brother,
hitter.
man. Hey,
Heavy
look,
hitters.
beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about little Tony from, around the corner. I'm like, he rap a little bit, but he can't get on the list. Who
Right,
else
right,
you got? You know what I'm saying?
I dig it.
But y'all give it up for chronic illness, y'all.
Yes, sir. What's up, man?
Man, y'all got it.
What's good?
Man, just enjoying the atmosphere.
Right.
Letting,
Now, would you rather be performed like announced as chronic illness, or can we just call you chronic, or what?
man, most people call me chronic.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be out like, hey, Chauncey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
cool too, cause before I got my act together, like how people had aliases when they was in the hood.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, I went by my name.
Okay.
You knew what it was when you seen me. So,
All
you
right.
know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't no,
Yeah.
nah.
That's what's
So
up.
either one worked, and then I carried it over into what I do, because when I'm writing
Okay.
or acting, I go by Chauncey. When I'm doing music or creative things, I go by Chronic.
Okay. That's what's up, man. So what's some of the other things you into, far as like with the book, man?
Everything that I do boils back to education.
Okay.
It's the thing that pulled me out of a path of destruction.
Right.
Once you know who you are, you cannot repeat the same mistakes that you've done in life.
Exactly.
So even with the music, when I'm writing, because I write, when I say I write everything.
Okay.
Songs, R&B, gospel, rap, scripts,
Yeah.
short film, long film, the book, the interview.
All right.
It's a book that actually she helped me think of the idea. She was talking, and I was like, man, that's dope. I'm gonna go do it.
That's what's
So
up, man.
Yeah.
it's a breakdown of the last album I put out, and the conversation of the album was this: us coming together, us as a culture,
Yeah.
understanding who we are, and having that foundation to start building up higher.
Right.
Because a lot of the things that we ask for as saying, well, they didn't do this for us, that they didn't do that for us, we really don't need people.
Exactly.
And
We strong as a unit.
Yeah.
man,
If we can just, get together, we strong
Man.
as a unit. It's strength in numbers.
it
It
is.
is.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the hate, man,
Well, yeah.
if you get on and
Yeah.
I don't like him because I don't got the same ambition as him,
Then you
feel some
kick
type
them
of
out
way.
the group.
Well, before we go to kicking people out, 'cause
Benefit of doubt. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
a lot of that is taught.
Yeah.
The education we've been given was given to us by our enemy.
Exactly.
We're not teaching ourselves. So you're taught to, hey, when something go wrong, separate. But if you look at your enemy, when something go wrong, they don't separate.
They sure don't.
So you got to start looking at the game from what you're seeing and paying attention to it, and take in what they tell you.
Right.
Because then in the middle, you're going to get the real story.
Exactly.
Man, y'all give it up for that, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Like, who were some of your biggest influences, though? Like,
Man, shoot, I can't say their name because y'all wouldn't know them, so I'll give their titles. My uncle, my dad, my granddad, my grandma. Like, I come from a strong family unit. a lot of the education came from home. Like my aunt, I ain't gonna say her name, but her she's actually first cousins with Fred Hampton. Like my family was a part of the Panther movement, so I've been getting the knowledge since I came into Earth.
Okay, from the
root.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
And
man.
so like I said, I strayed. We all will,
Right.
but it was a good thing that I strayed because for a lot of the people that I know that got that information from being young, because they kept the clean path,
Right.
they can't go walk in the hood and talk to people.
Because
Yeah.
It's not just being too clean. I
Yeah.
mean, because come on now, if you in the hood and somebody that look like you from your culture come to talk to you,
Yeah.
you gonna accept them
Right.
because they're
Yeah.
your culture.
Right.
But there still is a difference between if I'm talking to you about something we can work out,
Right.
and you know I done been through what you've been through, you gonna have more motivation to say, come on, we can actually work. You done been in my shoes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Together,
Yeah, compared to you ain't never seen this.
Right.
So,
And ain't that crazy though? Like when that was something you just said. That was powerful. Like being clean, they stray away from that. Like that's. I don't understand. Like why you people just don't want to.
They don't want to, I mean, I
Like, I
think
don't
people
get it.
scared to be
It's
good.
the-
Because it's
it's-
easy to be bad. You know what I'm saying?
But is that more on like self-image though? Is that more like pride, self? You know what I'm saying?
Nah. I think for me, everybody has to see you. In order to get behind you, they got to see you hit rock bottom and come back up. If you think about all the champions, I don't care what sport,
Right.
I don't care if it's life, whatever. You think about everybody that you would call a champion, you watch them fall
Right.
and stand up and go right back at what they was doing. So it gave you a belief in them. You don't believe what they do. You believe them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what he touch. I know he going to get it done because you've seen
Right.
what he can do.
Right.
So,
That's what's up. You know, I've asked a lot of people like who influenced you. You the first to say it was your mom, your dad, your auntie, and your cousin. Everybody gonna name a famous rapper,
or
some
football
type of
player. or
football
something,
player,
yeah.
some type of movie star. But you actually, your family was your motivation and
yeah.
inspiration to do what you do.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good, man. Give it up for that, please, man. What's up?
Man, y'all give it up for chronic illness.
Yeah.
Ronnie.
Ronnie. I like that name.
I like that because I like the chronic. I can say it on my show. I like the chronic.
Yes, sir.
It's all good. But hey, if y'all got any questions for the panel, man, it's time to do it. If you got any questions, no questions?
No question.
No questions at all? All right. There it is. Okay, let's keep it rolling, man.
Get into this.
Man, we get some topics, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes, sir.
we got to get out to the sponsors real quick, man. One more time for Ford Entertainment. CMR Promotions, you know what I'm saying? They ain't here today. They be shaking the moving, man.
Yeah, man, they moving.
But they got the little comedy show going on July 16th, I want to say, down at Woodward 5th. So y'all go down and support them guys, man. They got good content and they got live band, good food, and all that stuff.
Yes,
so
sir.
holla at them.
Do that.
Broken Systems,
What's up?
man. Welcome to the family, man, first of all, man. I just
Yeah.
appreciate it, man.
Let me borrow $10.
Man, I got you. I got you. Let me go with my Crown
My
Royal
favorite
bag.
cut.
Yes.
Hey, my new
Let me
favorite
go with my
cut.
Crown Royal bag in the truck.
Yeah.
Get you right.
Get it.
You know what I'm saying? But, on a political tip, y'all, you know what I'm saying? You do the Democratic Party, man. Is it necessary to vote? Because either way, if I go vote, a lot of people ain't voting. I know them motherfuckers came out. Them people voted for Trump. They, they came and voted. They got off their deathbed like, oh, yeah, make it great again, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It was terrible. For black people, you know what I'm saying? I be like, man, I ain't going down there. You know what I'm saying? So, is it necessary?
So to y'all, do voting does that matter?
Does voting
especially
matter?
with us.
Well, I'm going to start off like this.
Okay.
We're focused on like the last part of the process.
Hmm.
Voting would matter to people if they was part of the other part of the process. So if you was vetting candidates and knocking doors and writing bills and, really in it and understanding what resources your community gets based on how these pieces are moved across the
Right.
board.
Right.
Then voting probably would matter to more people. But we focus so much on getting out to vote.
Yeah.
Most people don't know who the hell they voting for.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I get phone calls on voting day, and y'all keep calling me, like, who do I vote for? And just talking people through, which I don't have a problem with it, but that's the game we've been playing for so long that everybody else has picked up on that. So you have people coming to the game like, well, they really don't care.
Yeah.
All I gotta do is show up at their church, say this, that, and the third, and they gonna come vote because I'm a Democrat anyway. One of the segments on Broken System is gonna call "That's That Shit We Need to Stop."
That's that
Yeah.
shit we need.
Man,
I like that.
I like that.
You know, there's a lot of shit we need to stop
For
doing,
real.
and that's one of them. You know,
Okay.
I'm gonna put it to you like this: we have some real FBI, CIA, high intelligent. I know at least females out here that you know everything about your ex new girlfriend.
Man.
You all on social media, email. You know where she work. You know who her mama is, where her last
Right.
baby daddy's new girlfriend
Right.
stay. Why we ain't on these candidates like that?
And
Man,
it's
church.
called trolling. Yeah,
Church.
Yeah,
Right,
trolling.
church.
Like
you know what
why
I'm
we
saying?
like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should I should know everything about
Right.
the opponent.
Right, and you
And
put all
can
that
call
energy into
one
that.
sister.
Exactly.
Like, girl, what's the scoop on Mike Sparks? And they're like, girl, let me tell you.
Yeah.
You know, his mama just played the numbers down there at the safe code. That, you know what I mean? Like, we know
Yeah.
everything we don't need to know about people that's not out here doing nothing. But you're elected officials, you don't know a damn thing
Don't know
about them.
nothing.
Man.
I show up to Rutherford County has the Capital Connection once a month during session. So session is, and I don't mind defining words, is when your House representative and your state senator, they all on Capitol Hill from like January to April, right? And that's when they writing bills, getting in
Right.
committee, voting, pushing stuff, you know, seeing
Right.
what's going on. So once a month, the Rutherford County representatives meet up and they tell you what they got going on.
Right.
Well, I showed up to the meeting looking just like this, because nothing's wrong with looking just like this.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
work hard to the people.
Right.
And everybody that was in front of me explaining what was going on for Rutherford County was a Republican white male, with the exception of one Republican white woman. You know, so everybody's calling it the voter suppression bill. The bill that they're that they've passed, it'll go into effect in October. That keeps groups like Equity Alliance that register a lot of people at one time, and they pay people to go out and register them. They're suppressing that. They're
Yeah.
saying you got to have specific training, and if you turn in all these forms that are messed up, we're going to find you $10,000. Well, what happened was during the midterm, you had this group, Equity Alliance, and other groups, Black Votes Matters, that came from out of town, and they went and they got like 90,000 people registered to vote.
Really?
And so but here's my thing.
Yeah.
That's why I like underground stuff, because when you show your hand like that, when you play the big joke off top, and they seen that, they was like, damn, they organized quick, and they made progress quick.
Right.
They coming.
Yeah.
So what did they do? Because they have people in position, they went and wrote a law that said you can't do that.
Can't do it. Just on the
So-
whim. Yeah.
Just on the whim. So how do we counter that? We could sit around and be mad and protest, say these white folks don't want us doing that, or like we did, we started a PAC,
Yeah.
Rutherford County Democratic Black Caucus, and one of our initiatives was to find black candidates to run. We now have Damian Talley. Y'all give it up for Damian Talley. For
Yes, sir.
District 49, which is right here, Smyrna Laverne area, that's running for House Representative. So then when things happen, now we got somebody that can go in
Yeah.
and write a bill to
Right.
say, you can't do that.
Can't do
Yeah.
it.
Or you can do that.
Gotcha.
But if we don't have people in place that can actually write laws, change legislation,
Right.
have a voice, then your vote don't matter.
They don't.
You're right. It really don't matter, because I'm trying to have churches to make mustard potato salad. How I get there?
First of all, you got to go to church.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Churches don't got potato salad. They got macaroni and everything. But
Yeah.
the phone bill. What made y'all choose the name Broken Systems, though?
Well, it's a play on words.
Okay.
I think it's dope.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I love it.
Because the logo, when
I
she
do.
sent it to me, it was
Yeah.
like, I said, it's perfect. You know,
Man.
and I seen the words,
Man.
justice and all that, and I'm like, yeah, it's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, the play on words is if you study history, before we became a part of their system, we were fine.
Exactly.
The systems that they put in play that they gave us to supposedly help us
Yeah.
actually broke our system. So the broken systems is the things that we need to focus on correcting for ourselves. Like I say, everything that I'm going to talk about is self-accountability, because for me, at home,
Right.
you start with your head, which is supposed to be the male, and you can't point fingers. You take that on yourself, and you fix what you need to fix.
Right.
So that's kind of the one side of the broken systems. The other side is actually going in and getting people that is well educated and getting well educated into their systems to understand, all right, well, I know you put this piece on the table, but how did it affect me?
Right.
Instead of just saying, okay, that's what it is, and I'm mad at it. Let me understand how it works.
Right.
Because at some point, because our system was broken, if we're going to build a system, we have to understand systems.
That's deep.
And the systems, we're talking healthcare, education, justice, politics, and blah, blah, blah.
Everything that white supremacy done touched, pretty much.
And everything that we've lost.
Right.
One of the things with the whole white supremacy, or even being black in America, you know, back when they were saying we were 3/5
of a human being. I got that wrote down. Yeah.
Which is funny to me because it's just like, just because white folks say things doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean, you know, and it's just amazed me. They're like, well, y'all were property at one time. Every time a white person say that, I say, no, the hell we wasn't. Y'all were ignorant. And y'all said stupid shit.
Right.
And everybody, y'all just went along with it and said, okay, well, if they said they're property, knowing damn well we got all the same body parts you got. So how am I different? How am I an animal? How am I a savage?
Right.
You're saying what you are and trying to put that on me.
Right.
But see, what they do, they broke two universal laws. They took our nationalities.
Exactly.
So we don't know which you can't do.
Right.
And then they took our spirituality. They took our God. You know, and so it's like, right.
Yeah.
So that's where they came with this dehumanization of the black man, you know, and that's why it's like we talk about reparations, and that's a buzzword right now. But I challenge the Democratic Party: will you be talking that shit when we do have an actual candidate and it's actually time for the election? It's all good during the primaries to talk all that Democrat talk, because it's Democrats talking to Democrats. So of course they're gonna say what Democrats want to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you go against the big orange head monster, will you talk that reparations? Because, like with the whole Joe Biden, and I'm just going to go here, we might be way off topic, but I got to talk about Joe.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring us back.
I got you. The balance. The balance.
Yeah.
But Joe, they think, everybody keeps saying they think Joe is the candidate that can beat Trump, is because he's just a Democratic version of Trump. Because he can appeal to racist white people that think Trump just went too far. They think Trump is dumb, you know, and ignorant, because he is. But you know what I mean? But it's like, but Joe Biden has done things. See, this is what happens when you've been in politics for a long time. You come with what's called a resume and a record.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't have to make up things about. I can go pull your voting record and see what things you were for and what things you were against. And Joe has a long history. And to everybody that's gonna say stuff like, "Well, y'all didn't have that same energy when Joe was with Obama." Well, first of all, we don't elect vice presidents; they're selected.
Exactly.
So we didn't have nothing to do with Joe
Right.
being on that
And
ticket
he was
to
just there to
begin
make
with.
sure that Obama stay in that line.
Well, he was there to
Yeah.
make sure that those white people that felt a little, they wasn't too comfortable for voting for Barack, but with Joe on the ticket, you know. But Joe went in on Anita Hill. Joe talked about reparations back in the 70s, saying we gave them civil rights. They don't need reparations, you know. And then here's the conversation again, and Joe's not trying to talk about that. Now, I'm not saying reparations are going to happen overnight, but I'm saying reparations has been one of the first conversations that puts black people on an agenda and holding politicians accountable to something. This is like the first thing we've really asked for.
That's the reparations you talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
that's about the money.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Because we were talking about the other day, we were
was,
talking about
right?
land.
We was. And,
You know
I
what I'm
think,
saying?
Well, I
Like,
haven't
it's bigger than a
decided
check.
on what
Yeah,
type of
yeah.
reparation.
I
That's
feel you.
going to be a conversation, but it's like there's so many things we have to prepare for in advance
Right.
before we want a check or we want some
Exactly.
land, because we have to be mentally ready for
Right.
that. And there's
Yep,
tricks and things that come with if they said, you know, if Trump come back and say, look, I give y'all 4 years, black folks, I'm gonna give y'all a check. So then of course we know he definitely gonna win because niggas want their money.
Exactly.
So they will vote for Trump. They like bump that. He said getting us a check, and he
Yeah.
started running them before he even ran. You know,
Yeah.
then let's just be hypothetical here and say that happened. Well, guess what white folks will probably do, because we don't have farms and we don't have a lot of resources that we need to take care of ourselves. So the price of milk could probably be $100.
Everything will be inflated. Because all they got to do is inflate gas,
Right.
and everything gets to a store by a truck.
By
so
trucks.
everything gets inflated.
Yeah.
But even land,
Yeah.
are we going to take that land and stay a part of the system? Because if so, then our property taxes are going to be inflated. And if you didn't take any money to go with your land, they're going to get the land back because you can't pay the taxes.
Exactly.
Like, there's no one piece movement for the conversation of reparations. And the understanding is still coming from the way they taught it to us. Because if you look out at true reparations, they give reparations to the country of Israel. And they've been doing this since they freed Israel from Germany, and they get a check every year.
And that was in the 40s.
They get enough money every year to where they can make those mistakes and not have to worry if they're gonna have the money again, because it's coming back, next year. So they have, the only reason they are the superpower that they are now on the world plane is because they've had those opportunities to grow. So you can't give a one-time check. It's like having a baby and saying, here go milk for the first day, the rest of it you got on your own. It's not gonna work.
Right. Right.
So that's why voting is important.
Yeah.
And I don't vote, so I'm being honest with you. I haven't, because I don't believe in putting my name on anything I don't understand, because those contracts come back to haunt you. So
Don't think about that either.
yeah,
See, man.
you done signed some stuff, and
Man, I done
It's so
voted. I mean, I done signed last week. And the 200 man stay trying to do right. I mean, yeah, I'm a vote.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
but it's not an issue with voting.
Yeah.
It's more of an understanding. Once again, we was taught backwards.
Backwards.
We are aiming at, we want to see who the president is.
Yeah.
The president don't directly affect us.
It's the locals.
It's the locals.
Locals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The councilmen and all that. Yeah.
From your
School
schools
board.
to your, yeah.
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 That's the things that we should be focusing on in the whole, and we have to understand at the same time the type of conversation to have, because there's certain things that we want to ask our locals, but they don't have the power to change. So we have to actually learn each position and what the position can do, just like playing chess.
Right.
Yeah.
The moves you make with a pawn, you can't make with well, you can make with anything what you
Right.
do with a pawn, but the moves you make with a knight, you can't make with a pawn.
Right.
You have to understand the positions that they play, so you know, okay, well, if I'm going to have a conversation with them, because conversations could just be at one time.
Exactly.
I'm gonna open my door, but I'm only opening it one time.
Right.
You need to be on topic
So we need to be like 3 or 4 steps ahead.
all
Yeah.
the time.
All the time.
All
All the
times.
time.
And we have to come with more than one demand. We need to have
Yeah.
about 12 things so we can get to.
Okay.
You know, like, because if I'm asking you for multiple things, if I just come to you one big thing, like we want reparations, well, we ain't got the money, be like, damn.
Yeah.
But if we be like, okay, well, we can't do reparations, but can you do, you know, let's get these police locked up for killing black people. Can you da-da-da-da-da? You're going to have to work with me somewhere.
Yeah, get my layaway out Walmart.
That's right.
I need them khakis for work.
But one thing about reparations, and then I'm a get off of that. Lord Jesus.
You know I got to mess with you.
Is,
You know what I'm saying?
is that slaves don't get reparations.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And we
Only
running
free
around
people.
talking about we free. And you wonder why everybody else got paid their reparations but us, because we're not free.
Man.
You know what I mean? They still got us on paper.
And it was been said to us, and I know somebody gonna say, why you bring his name up. Kanye West
Yeah.
said
Speak.
the slickest line and nobody caught it.
Yeah.
He said, we've been slaves for 400 years.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh, he was focused on saying it was a choice, not understanding if slavery supposed to end it a couple 100 years ago.
Yeah.
He was trying to tell you, no, you still a slave. I'm up here at the top. I got money.
Right.
And it's still things that they won't let me do. If
Yeah.
I'm a slave
Right.
with millions, if you ain't making a couple million a year, you're not free.
You're not free.
Man, say to speak on that.
Man. I always love you. You know, you
Yeah,
probably do
he-
some unorthodox things.
he does.
sometimes.
Yeah. But he a man dude,
But
man. He a man
I've
genius.
always liked him though. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
He a man genius.
Yeah.
But I want to ask y'all this too. Is protesting, is it effective? Cause somebody gets shot, we out there, free little Tony. You know what I'm saying?
Here come that brick.
Little Tony, we need free little Tony.
Yeah.
And then, we go back to work, and then we bury little Tony.
Yeah.
Then everybody just cool. But, this man may be shot down and everything. We come together when I feel like it's convenient.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be some trash, some white man done killed us, but little Tony got killed by Lil Craig. But Lil Craig, them 17, and a lot of 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds are dying. Black on black crime or whatever. But, as far as protesting, is it effective?
Yeah.
2 parts. We should definitely be checking our children.
Yes.
And I'm saying our because it doesn't matter if it's your child, but if it's a part of your community, it's your child. And, some of them out of line, some of them are doing good, and we need to start participating and on both sides. If they doing good, let's clap it up for them. Let's do things for them. But if they doing bad, actually go talk to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Just taking personal issues that I went through as a youngster. When I jumped off the porch, a lot of the things that kept me from going too far out was the OGs that was on the block.
Man,
they was like, hey, you need to be in school right now. If you don't go, you got a problem with me.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about what truancy officers and all this stuff.
Right.
You need to go. And so we don't, well, I ain't going to say we don't, because a lot of us are doing it. We don't see it on a massive scale as we should. Yeah. And we have the power to do it.
Right.
Because we got our own media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We got our own, we should be putting that picture out to say us that's over the age of acting ignorant, we down for you.
Right.
We care about you. We don't want you hurting each other.
Yeah.
Now, the protesting part, I'm going to go back to again, who educated you on protesting? Because if I got an enemy, I'm not showing them none of my moves.
Exactly.
You can't see nothing I do.
Yeah.
The only thing you going to see is the person beside you drop, the person beside you on the other side drop, then you drop. I'm not showing you nothing.
Nothing else.
Nothing. We ain't got nothing to talk about.
Right.
And that's basically what protesting is saying, this is what I want. And it would be okay if you used it effectively. If you used it as, hey, I'm going to distract them over here while y'all go over there and handle y'all business.
Yeah.
It's okay. Because that's how they do us.
Right.
This is what's going on in the Middle East. They just killed a bunch of people in Syria. Okay. And now everybody's talking about that on the news, and you just gunned down 3 unarmed brothers. And you know what I'm saying? Right. So they use it as a distraction.
Exactly.
If you do that tactic with protesting, cool. If not, what you protesting for? It's a waste of energy.
Now, I feel like it depends on your purpose behind it. It can definitely be a strategy.
Okay.
Brother Larry that was here earlier with Gideon's Army. He's headed up to the Capitol Hill, and they're protesting for what's going on in Sudan. It's all out bloodbath going out in Sudan. So there's people that, because they're out there protesting about that, it's bringing awareness, and people that don't know what's going on might drop back and question, like, what they talking about? You know, what's going on? So I think it definitely can be used to bring awareness, and it can be used if you have the right people out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there are strength in numbers.
Right.
Image is everything.
Right.
So, but you can't go out there. You got to pick your battles, pick and choose wisely. Like when the little white supremacists came to Shelbyville, Tennessee. It was funny because it was like literally right in front of my job, like literally. Like, so I watched the police set up the city, put the fencing out. They got snipers on the little square, like it's just all out. In Shelbyville, Tennessee.
They must have had a rock up there like that.
It goes down.
You know, and then Murfreesboro was geared up.
Yeah, even back in the day in my hometown, man, they had, KKK.
I know Lewisburg, for real.
Yeah, man. It was time we had to, when I was young, it was time look, you better get in here before it get dark. Because, they was riding around, in strengths, with Confederate flags, which that is our flag. A lot of people don't. Man, come on. All our ancestors died up under that flag. Yep. They just took it and just adopted it like they do everything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. They was getting it in down there. I remember that very well. So,
So the protesters that did come out to counter them, what it did do is it stalled them it took up so much time because they had to check everybody for weapons that they were stuck in Shelbyville so long that they never got to make it to Murfreesboro.
Wow.
So, the protesting then, just those people all coming out caused this delay.
What's that? The White People Matter movement?
The White Lives Matter. That's what it was. The White Lives Matter. But they were down. It was after dude went to that church in Antioch.
Yeah.
The Somalian dude.
Yeah.
He got
and
life
killed
for that, didn't he?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
But it was after that. But we held something at Vanderbilt, and but it was a lot of people. I give it up to black people, especially black people in Nashville, that reached out and was like, do y'all need us to come down there? So a lot of times we get caught in this myth that black people don't stick together and black people ain't helping each other, and if we just came together. But I promise you, I got way more phone calls and emails than I expected to. And them checking on my little black self in little Shelbyville, Tennessee, and they was ready to bring buses, but I was like, whoa, hold on, not our fight,
I got you.
But I'm checking this out. I'm flipping the news and seeing you on CNN going in.
Yeah, that
I said,
was.
man, she on CNN like this. We going. I'm like,
and that was my first time on the scene, y'all. Like I was on CNN and like quoted in the Washington Post or something. And this was my very first night when I was like, I'm getting in politics.
Yeah.
And I was one of them. Trump got elected. Not like, oh man, I can't believe we let Trump. But I was like, damn, they let Trump in. Shoot, I know I can get in. My past is not that bad.
Right.
So for real, like people laugh, but am I lying? I was like, shoot, I'm trying.
I'm finna try this.
And look, I'm a little elected official now, just like Trump. Give it up for Trump, y'all.
Right.
No.
no, I ain't clapping that.
They're like, nah, we ain't giving it up for Trump.
What a pistol at? Put one in the air.
I was trying to see who I was going to catch slipping. They was ready to
I was like, oh.
But you can be motivated by even the crookedest of the crooks. You know what I mean?
Man.
But I had already followed Trump. That's why I was like, y'all saying now, but when he was down with hip hop and everybody was cool with Trump, y'all wasn't tripping on Trump. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
That money, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why was he ever down with hip hop?
Well, hip hop was down with him. You're right.
Hey,
Hip hop was down
just
with
to
him.
get a bump.
Oh, really?
Fuck Black Season, nigga. I'm building a black Trump.
Hey.
But me.
I'm finna say Trump.
Everybody was saying about Trump back in the day, though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he was just always he was just always where you need to be, big real estate guru.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was getting money. You know?
Right.
You
But-
just elect them official.
Yeah,
Man-in-chief.
but that's my piece on the protest, and it's just how you work it.
I want to now. Is it a proper way to protest? Like, is it a proper way, or it's just
You gotta ask protesters. Me, if I
No
go out
throwing
there,
rocks and-
No,
they better pat me down.
okay? All right.
For real?
Yeah. That.
Well,
no, she
why
serious.
go
Oh,
out
you
there?
can
But
just-
why
no,
go?
she's serious,
That's
yeah.
why I'm
Yeah.
not going out
okay, 'cause
there.
you're
I'm
gonna
not
be-
going out there because like
Right.
dudes
Change.
that ran the
Change.
car.
Now, hey, listen.
Pedal down now.
I'm not off the chain. White folks was off the chain.
Yeah.
They was at the protest and drove the car into the crowd. You know,
Oh,
I didn't do
that's
that.
crazy.
Now you right.
Tanea didn't do that.
Now you absolutely right.
But
That's
if Tanea
why-
go to a protest and knows that something like that could happen, then Tanea gonna be ready to shoot your windshields out or something like that. We just not going out.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That's why I say we shouldn't though.
Yeah.
Because if you go out and you're protesting, you can't hit me with no brick. You can't throw no
Yeah,
bean bags
you're
at me
not
through
doing
no
that.
shotguns.
Yeah,
You
right.
can't
None of
like you
that.
can't do that because this is what happens. They're saying, well, if they do all this stuff, you got to hold control yourself. No, what you're doing is giving up your manhood.
So
Yeah.
Because if you shoot at my children, because I'm protesting, my children with me, you shoot at my children.
Yeah.
If it's anybody else,
Yeah.
it's on site.
it's on
Yeah.
site. Yeah.
So why am I supposed to allow you to shoot at my children and it not be on site? For me, I don't go because I know it's on site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't so. Hey,
Right.
you know what? I'm gonna
And
stay where I stay.
I be telling my guys at the shop all the time. I said that's not me. Now,
Nah.
I
I
do
can't
the
be
re-
out
I
there.
do the
Nah.
research.
I mean, on TV, like, man,
yeah,
hope they be safe.
You know what I'm saying? It'll be more cars, especially drone.
I hope they
It'll
be
be more
safe.
cars running into them crowds. And like you said, your kids being in that crowd and get hit. I mean, it ain't no coming back from that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
So,
But now the CNN was kind of like some protest, but I was with some little old white women from Bedford County and Coffee County.
You know, and Hamburg out there, too. You know.
Mad. Look, they was the
Yeah.
little Republicans was snatching signs. So somebody came out, ran out to the group, and was like, if they try to snatch your sign, just let them. And I wasn't paying no attention. I turned around like, who's snatching signs?
Yeah.
They was like, I said, somebody give me a sign. And I was the main one out there. Like, I wanted some because I was practicing kickboxing. I was like,
See?
I was looking for a victim, and
See you
then
down trying to do a roundhouse.
I needed a victim.
Yeah, you
I
wanted
needed a
it, right?
victim.
You trying to get one of them white boys? I ain't got
Hey,
that.
hey, I can see today too. Yeah, go stack my sign.
Man, I'm volunteering my
I'm
sign.
finna try this.
Nah, the Murphy bro fucking with them folks.
But, and then I went, took a picture on Facebook because, we had to.
Yeah.
And then the little white folks from Coffee County was on my picture like, I was like, y'all, they talking about snatching signs. I might go to jail. And they was like, if you go to jail, we'll bail you out. I'm like, is that lifetime pass or just a
Yeah,
So after that, I was good. Like,
Oh,
but
man. It's good to have a good white person on your team, though.
it's better to have like 10 old white people on your team,
Man,
though.
yeah.
yeah.
Because they got lawyers. But, hey, I helped with a campaign, and the first thing comes was like, now, Tanea, if you get into any problems, you call me. I got this. I was like, lifetime pass?
Yeah.
You got to be specific with me.
Yeah,
If I ask my homeboy, he be like,
know.
shit.
I'm
man,
like, 'cause
I
my
wanna get
cousin
paid
need a
till
lawyer
next week.
right now.
We'll talk about that off.
Right off the record.
Yeah, off
Yeah,
the record. Yeah,
William
yeah,
Stover
yeah.
hollered at him. He going downtown. Got me off 2 of them.
Yeah.
But that's not mine. But y'all do the music. I know you dabble in music too, because you let me hear something that you was on tonight.
Oh, sometimes
Yeah.
I get to read my beautiful words
Yeah,
on other
yeah.
people's tracks.
But the state of hip hop, I like the change of, the conscious is winning. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta say this. My money, you know what I'm saying? And the beat. That's all I'm hearing. The money. That bitch. You like, it's bumping though, it's bumping.
Yeah.
When I'm high, it's bumping. If I hear the shit sober, cut that. Man.
Right.
But, as far as the Kendricks, the J. Coles, the Crits, you know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
The state of hip hop, what you think? What's your piece on that, y'all? Because I heard your music is out of this world, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, he ain't cussing. His voice, his delivery.
I ain't heard, you know me, man. I'm a hip hop head for real. So I'm gonna definitely
Yeah,
have
man.
to say,
He bring it on guitar player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Now, he ain't cussing, but I told him I was happy when I found out he cussed in real life.
I really.
I was nervous.
You was like,
I was like,
who is it?
it's hard to have a conversation with me if you don't
Yeah,
cuss.
Man.
Hey, bro.
I'm
they give
working
you a
on
tomato on your
it.
sandwich.
I'm working on it. I'm
I
working.
can see today now. Come on, Chronic. Just say
Chronic,
shit.
yeah,
Right,
say shit
I
one
heard.
time.
Like, come on, Chronic.
I
just
heard
say
him
shit.
though early.
Yeah,
They had no
yeah.
tomato on the sandwich. He like, ain't this a bitch? I said, oh, he do cut.
Yeah.
Nah, the difference is when you on wax
Right.
and you put it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my children listen to me, and
Right, I get it.
if I'm not gonna let them do it, I don't want y'all children doing
I
it
get
either.
it.
So it's
Okay.
it's a
Give it up on
respect
that.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about the
Hey,
truth.
just like 2J said, man, I gotta dumb this shit down, man. My kids be listening.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's real though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, it's hard, man. There's a whole lot of rappers out there that can't do that though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? A lot of them faking because I done spoke.
Really?
I know a lot of people that's at the next level of the entertainment game, and a lot of them are very educated. They just choose to act ignorant. That's
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna call no names. I ain't gonna put nobody
Somebody
out.
was telling me, I
but-
think I was reading the interview.
Yeah.
Listen to the interview. Somebody said they about, this like it's a mask, man.
Yeah,
Turn it
it's a
on.
character.
Yeah, I think Schoolboy Q was saying that. He
Yeah,
said, man,
it's a
he said, why
character.
no funny guys? He said, man, a lot of these dudes funny, man, but they just dumb it down like nigga playing $12,000 on what was that, a Madden game or something,
Yeah.
2K, y'all been 12,000. He's like, that's stupid, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like, how you get that 12,000 to somebody to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but
start a
it's-
business.
it's-
start a business or something, yeah.
But the people that own hip hop need them to do that.
Yeah.
Because if they spin reckless,
Yeah,
they
the
fans
Interscopes.
gonna
Yeah,
spin
they're
reckless.
And it's part of it's part of the system. That's broken. You know what I mean? So when you change the game, you find somebody that is spitting some lyrics that have content, not cussing.
Yeah.
The whole family can ride and listen to it, be crunk and
Yeah.
be serious. You know, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. When we unite, it's dangerous. You know, something I know you're talking about hip hop, but we can use hip hop because they use a lot of Jay-Z's and T.I.'s
Right.
in politics. To,
Yeah.
Diddy was the vote or die.
Yeah, the girl
And
Keisha down in Atlanta, the man.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. When they
Yeah.
were pushing that, but it's important one thing with the Black Caucus that we're working on is to see the black man up there in politics, for that image to be seen. You know, Barack, we can argue later whether he's black or not. We won't talk about that today. But the image still of a black man, you know, and Marcus Garvey said a race without power and authority is a race with no respect. You know, so until you start seeing black men like our brother Damian Talley being state representatives and, you know, writing laws and things like that, then we don't have any respect out here, because we're not telling anybody what to do, or we're not putting our money out. That's another thing too, going back to candidates, when they're running, whether they're black or it's just somebody you believe in, it takes money. You're going to have to donate. You're going to have to help fundraise. You're going to have to volunteer. 2, 3 people, 10 people, 20 people cannot run a campaign. Right.
Bake sale ain't going to do it.
Unless somebody cooking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, green. You know, Miss Annie got them greens this weekend. Tally trying to get in there, baby.
I just seen some bake sales, you know, raise a couple stacks. So, you know.
Ain't no wrong
but the
with
money got to be put behind
Was
it.
Was it cannabis in it? That's another story.
But even speaking of cannabis and marijuana, you know, that's things that we want to see come to Tennessee. You know what I mean? Like,
you know? All right, you got my vote.
So, you know, but we still need to do our research and be prepared on that. What does that mean if marijuana is going to be legal in Tennessee? Because do we own land to be able to grow weed to make this money?
Right.
What is it going to charge to get the licensing to do this and the certifications? Like in different states, that stuff can cost like $50,000, $5,000, and the average black person just don't have that kind of money to start a business.
Do you think it's coming? Because me and my man
It's
Ray
here.
Ball right here. No, I'm talking about the actual.
The law part.
Yes. Let me get an eighth of that pineapple you got right there. Me and my man got a little weight. It's just $1. Just $1 bet.
Right.
That's it. That's all I can do. I mean, we are in the Bible Belt.
It's coming.
Are we?
I want to see it. Well, I'm just saying.
It's coming.
South.
It's
y'all
Nashville is the white Atlanta, man.
Until I see the first dispensary.
Right, and see, but it's the people with money that's opposing it.
Yeah.
It's your white rich Republicans, Governor Bill Lee. They don't want that.
They don't want it. Yeah,
and it makes me wonder why. Well,
I'll tell you why. I already know.
What you gonna say?
Lee Company.
That and Marsha Blackburn, they got the drug testing.
Exactly.
You know, they made all their
That's
money
gonna cut in their
on that, right? And then we got
So
private prisons.
So question: do y'all think they saying no for the moment?
Yeah,
Or
they're
no
gonna
for
wait.
good?
I think they're gonna wait until they're in play. It's just like, okay, these kids you got in cages right now, right?
I just think a lot of them older politicians that been running the state of Tennessee for so long almost have to pass and move on, and it's gonna be our youth, our generation to actually push that. I just think it's a lot of older people out there that really don't want to do that. Well, they still call it, like some old people still call it dope. I'm like, it's not dope.
Yeah, wacky tobacco.
But they on cocaine.
I get it. I get all of that. I feel you. I feel you. I understand. I get it. But just like you said, that's gonna cut into Lee Company's pocket.
Right.
Think so?
Man, yes.
They're not. But they're waiting. I think they're playing the wait game. I mean, they have some type of plan. They're playing it a certain way for a reason.
You can get CBD any damn well. I said CBD.
Man, I can get it. We still got Family Video in Chevy where you can rent DVDs. They sell it at the counter. I'm just like just like.
They still got the DVD. Oh, at the counter. Yeah, they got it down the street.
Yeah,
it look all
you
dusty.
can't just get it anywhere. I wouldn't recommend that.
It look dusty on the weed. I said, is it that white line though?
Yeah.
Nah, that's dust.
That's dust. Yeah, that's that dust mite bag.
So I got a question. So to everybody on this panel and then everybody out there, just think about it in your mind. So is there anything legally preventing you from not having a firearm?
Oh, I'm good. I'm legal.
Yeah,
that was the first thing, especially when I got in the business of barbering. We get cash, and thank God for Square now. Do a transaction, but like you said earlier, like we needed to teach our children. Like my dad taught me when I was 5 or 6 years old.
Sure.
He was behind. Yeah, I've been shooting guns that long, so I've always been an advocate for pistols. You know what I'm saying? But I want us to do it the right way. Don't go out here with these hot guns, man. And
You got a body on
you know what I'm
it.
saying? They got about 2 or 3 bodies on them and stuff.
I ain't buying no pistols
Do it,
from a
look.
dude I know that's reckless anyway.
Do it legal. And I think a lot of it too. I think a lot with us. I think a lot of us is kind of probably scared. They probably ain't never really handled a gun.
Yeah.
It's
Don't know the proper way of using it.
intimidating.
It is. It's
intimidating.
very intimidating. Yeah. But I feel like we black people, we do need to be strapped up out here legally though. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? Have your paperwork. I mean, they sent me through the ringer with that.
But when you say legally, it's not illegal for you to have a gun.
No, it's
you
not.
don't have to
Yeah,
have
right,
no
right.
paperwork to have
Well,
a gun.
right.
at your
I'm
house.
just talking about being able to conceal and carry. You know what I'm saying? If you want to walk in here in Walmart, I mean, anybody can go get a gun, you know, your rifles and your shotguns out of Walmart for your home. You know what I'm saying? But legally, when you can move around out here in this world, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, with your license on it.
It extends to your car too. Castle
Yeah, I feel,
Yeah.
I just do it. Just go get the proper training. Go learn.
Definitely.
I have a
Understand,
pistol, but at the
cause-
same time, I don't ride with it. I feel like,
Yeah.
nobody's after me.
And also too,
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
It's
being
like-
licensed to carry that don't make you an officer.
So,
So if you
don't.
see somebody like it's real, like if you see something in a gas
Hold.
station, hold up.
You
That's
know.
not your. If they robbing the store, you in there, you holding. That's not your.
Oh, I
money.
ain't going in there no way.
No, I figure,
Call
but you can
law
already
enforcement.
know what I'm saying. You can already be in there. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Don't
Oh,
do that.
no. We
You know
call
what I'm
law
saying?
enforcement.
You don't own this store. This is none of your bread. Let that man take what he gonna take and say,
Yeah.
sure.
All he wants is some
But it's some
Newports and some potato chips. That's it. 9 times 10, you at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's all they
let
want.
me get 10 on 5.
And
10
two
on
of those
5.
big
Yeah,
jumbo
yeah,
bucks.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that does not give you the right to pull your gun and shoot this dude or woman, whoever.
And at the same time, man, make
Yeah.
sure what kind of gun you buying.
Yeah.
These folks ain't cleaning these guns. They backfiring on you.
And the most important thing too, for the gun, don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, you good.
If you get them, protect them, especially around your children. You got small kids in the house. Don't leave your pistol on your nightstand. Don't leave it on your wherever in your car, cause things happen. Kids are curious. They see it on TV,
Yeah.
and they don't want to pick up that gun. But if you teach your kid what this can do and how it would change lives
Yeah.
when you pull this trigger, so educate your kids. I'm real big on that, though, especially with these weapons. You know what I'm saying?
Educate the children.
For sure.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Educate them, you know what I'm saying? But this is the portion of the show we have entertainment.
Yes, sir.
And Chronic Galen, son, you go bring them in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
get in
That's
my
music,
radio.
yeah.
Let me get
Yes,
in my
sir.
radio host voice, ladies and
Soul
gentlemen.
number 1.
We got all the way from Chicago, Illinois, raised a little bit in Nashville, Tennessee.
Don't forget
resides
Memphis.
right now.
Yeah.
Smyrna. Oh, and Memphis is definitely in the building.
He said, don't forget Memphis.
Don't
He's
forget
got
Memphis.
years.
North Memphis. North Memphis.
I was in both North Memphis and South Memphis.
South Memphis. South Memphis.
He's supposed to be making his way towards the microphone.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah,
He's
that's good,
talking while I bring him out.
That's all good.
That's an old rapper, y'all. He been rapping for 20 years. I got to change how I bring him out. So y'all give me.
They ain't been that long, man.
But he's definitely a friend of mine. I'm a fan. I still bump a mixed CD I got from him like 12 years ago, and I paid for it. So he's crunk, like you say, he doesn't cuss, but his music is very inspirational, motivational, and he brings it. We got Mo on the acoustics, so we're gonna give you some live grown folks music on this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Without further ado, it's Chronic Illness.
Sorry for my absence. I had a couple things happen. I had to sit back, just think. Shout out to my mojo, paused on my logo. Sit down and had a few tracks. A couple of tags, with some shots gabbing. That's when you go and hit the stage. Cause everything around me been drowned in our 16. That wasn't for the love, but just to keep playing. Spill that I see when I look into my oldest eyes. She was born to speak off these love and vibes. So she ain't in the stick and watch me get in the rush. Probably get to that die. Stop it ain't an option. No fear to follow. The only time you lose is when you're choosing to quit. 6 years to make these hits. My name on my wrist. Enjoy your rich. I can't
I most definitely, I need some music from you though, for real.
I got you.
You got
Yeah,
something?
man.
Yeah, I need that.
Man, y'all give out the tags and
Yeah.
where they can
Tag
catch
out.
that
Yes,
and
sir.
everything.
It's Chronic Illness. Chronic spelled CRONYK illness. I normally say just go to Google because my name spelled so different. Once you go there, you're gonna get my website. I have my own personal website for anybody like the music, want to listen to it. Go to the website, put your email in. 10 dope songs on there. It's all free.
There it
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything. Chronic Illness.
Chronic illness.
And
Miss Tortoise.
Tortoise Win. We got IMU is on Amazon.com. Tortoise Win is just like the two words. Just take the E out of tortoise. But y'all can find me on Instagram and Facebook. That's it. I'm not a Twitter. I don't get it.
Me either.
And Snapchat, I just feel too old.
Yeah, my
for
son told me
Snapchat.
that. Yeah, I was gonna
I don't get it.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those. I know some grown folks do, but I don't get it.
Snapchat, I don't.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
So yeah, so Tortoise Wind, TORTOISWIND. Just Google it. There's no other Tortoise Wind out here.
Yeah.
Man, that's what
Keep
I'm
it that
talking
way.
about.
That's what's up.
Man, we like to thank the studio owners, man. Give yourself a round of applause, man. Appreciate y'all so much, man. We like to thank the mixtress
Yes.
once again doing the thing with them drinks, man. Thank you, baby. We like to thank DJ motherfucking Duff. I had to say motherfucking between it, man, because you was rocking, homie.
Right.
Hey, man, you doing my wedding. You doing my wedding. You doing my engagement party and everything. That's next year. I'm putting it in now, man. We like to thank Just Jeff, man, behind the camera, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm talking about? We got a CE Vision, man, taking these pictures, man. We want to appreciate it, man. Been rolling with the brand for a minute.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm talking about? We would like to thank Broken Systems, man, to be a part of Scatta Sites Entertainment, man.
Yes, sir.
You got
Be
anything to
on the
want to tell
lookout.
you, man?
Welcome to the family.
Man, I'll tell you what, man, go to scattersites.com for all this content, man. This is episode 6.
I also want to thank, man, my man, Antoine.
Point, yes. Ridley's Barbershop,
Letting us, man,
Barber Lounge.
Had this, man, this beautiful event, man.
Thank you.
Dedicated to this brother,
Man.
man. So,
550 Sam Ridley, Smyrna, Tennessee, man. Get your haircut at right here. Oh, what's that, Ridley's Barber Lounge? You got Ridley's Barbershop. That's where I get my haircut at.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to all the barbers there, man. Huey, man. Twan, man. Tom, man. Chris ain't here.
Yeah.
Every show, man.
Yes,
They
sir.
here, man. They laughing, they participate, man. I really appreciate it, man. So that's love.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? The ones, what's that, Peaches? Y'all too? Hey, y'all, every show.
Every show.
And we got something going on, man, and I really appreciate it, man. Upper Echelon Management, Big Snake.
Yes, sir.
Man, this is episode 6, man. We're about to take a month off, you know, so we got to go on vacation, man. I got to rub my gal feet, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that right, baby? Yeah, I said, baby, they need to stop there. I said, but on the July 20th, man, we're going to drop that 6 1/5 podcast, man.
Yes, sir.
Ham and Guru, so yeah, hey. Hey, that's my youngest. That's my hyenas. When I talk about that crew the shit,
Yes, sir.
that's them. You know what I'm
Building
saying?
this brand, man.
We building it, man. I just want to appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Thank you.
everybody, man. Scattersites.com, man. Catch everything, man. This is episode 6.
Yes, sir.
Man, power and understanding with the Broken System podcast, man.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And all I want to say is peace, love, church.
Church.
Church.